Chris Cillizza is with us, journalist, senior advisor of the DGA Group. As you can see, author of one of the great Substacks of all time. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
It's good
to see you.
Is it telling that rather than defending any of these programs, all Democrats are doing is attacking Elon Musk?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think Rahm Emanuel, who I know a lot of Democrats hate, former Chicago mayor, former Obama White House chief of staff, but I tend to think is very smart about realpolitik, what works and what doesn't. I'm paraphrasing him, but he essentially has said, you got to know which pitches to swing at and not swing at all of them. Now, I have a very close friend who works at USAID. She does great work. This is not about the agency writ broadly in what they do. But if you're picking a political fight, like this is the hill, to your point, the hill that we're going to fight on. Number one, as you said, no one knows what it is or what it does, okay? And then, to the extent that you inform people about what it does, guess what most Americans don't really want to spend money on? Other countries, right? America first. That's what Donald Trump ran on. So it's like, I'm not sure that this is the fight you want to pick, because even if people do find out about this agency that they don't know what it does, it's a thing that they're going to say, well, why is it a $38 billion budget? Why don't we get rid of some of it? And you know who especially feels that way? 18 to 29-year-old men who, not for nothing, Donald Trump won in the 2024 election.
It's confounding. There's the argument that the reason that Democrats are so for it is because so many of these programs basically further their agenda, both in the United States and abroad. But you think about, like, something else that's happening, right? Which would be, and I'm going to say this really bluntly, the price of eggs.
Yeah.
Waffle House is now ordering a surcharge, 50-cent surcharge on every egg ordered, according to a memo from Waffle House, one of my favorite people. In fact, people are now sharing on social media Donald Trump in a Waffle House uniform serving eggs. A little different than McDonald's. And here was Chris Matthews on MSNBC earlier.
Trump's got to deal with that. He's got to deal with prices. And it'll come back to bite him in November next year. He will lose votes in the close House races for the re-election next year on drug prices, egg prices. It's going to be as basic as that.
Now, there's an irony, right, of course, of Chris Matthews talking about egg prices. We don't know what the free-range eggs in Nantucket costed him this summer. I'm just pointing out, I mean, this guy has real experience with this. But to that point, there are things that Donald Trump is going to have to face, and presidents do not get to define their own presidency. We know that. Why not fight on those issues? I don't get it.
I don't either. Because people always say to me, not always, when people ask me, what was the election about? I say, look, I'll make it really, really plain. 31% of people said the economy was the most important issue in deciding their vote. That was tops, not surprisingly, but the top issue. Of that group, Donald Trump won 69% of the vote and Kamala Harris won 29% of the vote. That's the election, right? We can talk, there's a million other things, change versus more of the same, and blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, that's it. So to me, yes, I think every day they should go up here on Capitol Hill and be like, you know what the price of eggs are today? Fill in the blank. And that's up 30 cents or 20 cents or 15 cents.
Price of eggs are up because of bird flu, but
the point is,
Joe Biden can tell you, Americans don't care why the price is up.
Donald Trump blamed Joe Biden for price stuff that Joe Biden had nothing to do with, and it hurt Joe Biden politically. We're not talking about, look, the American public is not a bunch of economists debating, like, what actually raises the prices of your groceries. They're the people who buy your groceries.
So the issue, though, of cutting government spending has been popular back to the time of Ronald Reagan. Take a listen.
Yep.
There is no magic money machine. Every dollar the government spends comes out of your pockets. Every dollar the government gives to someone has to first be taken away from someone else. So it's our moral duty to make sure that we can justify every one of your tax dollars.
I can't understand the political logic of jumping up and down and saying, must spend all money.
Here's what I would say. You've got to think of the context. They lost everything in the 2024 election. White House, they didn't win back the House majority. They lost the Senate majority. They don't have a majority of governorships. They don't have control of a majority of the state legislatures. This party is on the mat, and so they're looking for ways to get up. In my estimation, purely from a political perspective, this ain't the USAID is not the way to do it. You start by saying Donald Trump said he was going to bring gas prices, egg prices, grocery prices down. How's he doing on day 16?
Right.
How's he doing on day 7?
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.